So, Bobby, you have maintained a pretty high testosterone level. Do you follow specific dietary guidelines to maintain that number? Is it because of what you're eating that you're able to keep that number up so high?
So I'm just going to say this, and this is why I will never be popular. The answer is yes, and the answer is no. It's completely nuanced, and if you came here looking for a list of things that was going to change your life, you're in the wrong spot. Like, is that the right answer? Is that what I'm supposed to say?
I think I don't think that's the answer you're supposed to say, but I do think it's the right answer.
But again, this is why I will never be as popular as I could be, because I'm unwilling to just go on screen and say, if you eat oysters, your testosterone will skyrocket. Like, that's the answer.
Dude, it's bull testicles. We all know you have to eat bull testicles, right? Like by the dozen every day, and then you'll be a real man.
We're back to the Liver King type thing. Like, the reason he's jacked like that is not because he's on boatloads of PEDs or he works out all day. It's because he eats raw liver supplements that you have to buy and you have to sell. So, like, that's my preamble to this thing. That said, if I really sit down and think about it, I suppose there are some dietary practices and some things I eat that lend me to having higher testosterone. Like, that's a fact. We know diet can affect testosterone, just like diet can affect ulcerative colitis, just like diet can affect your mood, just like diet can affect your weight, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, diet, what do they say? Food is medicine, right?
Yes. So I actually want to break this into two categories, Joe. General and specific. So general now. If you want to have higher testosterone, but not only even just higher testosterone, better health, better weight management, better energy, better longevity, better gut health, like all the things. If all you did was eliminate processed food from your diet, you would be way ahead of the game. Like, beyond that, every change you're going to make is going to be a micro change. If you went to your cupboard, you poured the soda down the drain, you went to your fridge, grabbed out all the Doritos, threw them in the garbage. You went to the fridge and got the soda, and you went to the cupboard and got the Doritos. You know what I'm trying to say? You took all your candy.
This is my frequent reminder to all our listeners that Bobby is a former UFC fighter and has been hit in the head multiple times.
Yes, my son Hunter calls it CTE. I said, "What's CTE, buddy?" He goes, "It means your brain is really hurt and you need help, Dad." I said, "Okay, thanks, buddy." But
I saw that elbow that you took from Eduardo in Ultimate Fighter, man.
That was it.
Pass.
That was it. That sent me down a whole different rabbit hole of things. But genuinely, Joe, if you were to just go to your cupboard and get rid of all processed stuff and you were to eat clean for 90 days, I promise you your hormone profile would be better, your gut health would be better, your colonoscopy would come back better. Like, just get rid of all the processed
just your
food.
Testosterone, right? Like, everything would be better.
And they're all connected, because you said something earlier that was brilliant. Low testosterone isn't like the cause. It's actually the symptom. It's what's happening because you're behaving in, frankly, a really, really poor manner. Like, you're treating your body like an amusement park. Therefore, you have low testosterone. Right. You're treating your body like an amusement park. Therefore, you have ulcerative colitis. You treat your body like an amusement park. Therefore, your HDL and LDL are really bad. Like, those are symptoms that need to be fixed. It's not the problem. When it comes to testosterone, people are just like, well, if I get my testosterone up, all my problems will be fixed. Well, no, there's like a base of problems to fix before that. So just answer one is just clean up your diet. And I shouldn't need to lecture you on it. If I was to give any person a quiz right now, is this good for you or bad for you? 99.9% of the people in the world can pass that quiz. Like, no one's sitting here thinking Reese peanut butter cups and Doritos and soda are good for them. Like, let's be real, Joe. I know all kinds of people.
To live in that world, huh?
Right? You know all kinds of people who sit down and eat an entire Little Caesars pizza, and they know, they say, I shouldn't be eating this. Like, everybody knows. So that ship has sailed. You know better. You're an adult. You're on the internet. You know it's good for you. You know it's bad for you. So that's the short answer. Just clean up your diet, get rid of processed food, and you will be just fine. Then there's like the deeper science, but I call this, Joe, microscience, if you will. Like, there are foods that will increase your testosterone or should increase your testosterone. So I'm going to go over a couple of categories, and I want to get your take on like why they're microscience, or like talk a little bit about it, right?
Sure.
So we know that a zinc deficiency can lower your testosterone output. We know that. It's why a ZMA supplement is so popular.
Yeah.
So theoretically, you should eat foods that are rich in zinc. That could theoretically help increase your testosterone. Now, if you already have the diet that's non-processed food, chances are you're already eating all these things, and just having more is not going to have a big effect. If you're eating a really clean diet, you should not have a zinc deficiency, is what I'm trying to say. You should be in line with that. But if you had a zinc deficiency, oysters, lean beef, chicken, nuts, seeds, that would help you get more zinc. Joe, remind me, what's a CrossFit diet? You know it.
Meat, vegetables, nuts
Seeds
and
nuts.
seeds,
There you
some
go.
fruit, a little starch, and no sugar.
Okay, so there's my list. Like you're getting your zinc. That's my point. If you're not eating if you're eating a diet that's free of processed food, you're probably doing all these things anyway. But these are foods.
Yeah, and I would say too, because what we were talking about, whether it's a symptom or the cause, if the reason your testosterone is low is because your zinc is low, then increasing your zinc would theoretically increase your testosterone.
Yes, correct. But you wouldn't have
if your
low zinc.
testosterone is low because you treat your body like an amusement park, it might not be because of a zinc deficiency, so it might not be as effective.
Correct.
Okay.
Then you got foods that are rich in magnesium. Magnesium deficiency, again, the ZMA supplement that everyone was on that you take before bed that can help increase your testosterone. Not a lot of people get magnesium in the diet. And why? Because the primary sources are leafy green vegetables. When's the last time you ate a salad, big guy? Avocados, bananas, and some whole grains. But I have a problem with the whole grains thing, because you get like a whole bunch of pediatricians out there that are like, you need to feed your kid more Cheerios to get whole grains. And it's like, dude, that's not, they can get the way more magnesium from an avocado. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, we don't need to go down the whole grains.
But fiber, Bobby, like you can't get fiber from fruit and vegetables, right?
Yep. You know, I had an experience with my pediatrician, my first son, Beans, obviously, brought him into the pediatrician. They're like, he's in the 99th percentile for everything. He's healthy. His skin looks great. Like, you're a fitness guy. Do you mind me asking what you feed him? And literally, Joe, I'm like, he lives off meat. He used to have these avocado banana shakes. You would put avocado and banana in a blender with a little bit of like milk and mix it up and make a pudding. He would eat like 3 of these a day. He was kind of a picky eater, but he would eat meat. He would eat avocado banana shakes, and he would eat berries. And I'm like, this is what he eats. And he's like, well, doesn't he need white bread and Cheerios? And I'm like, no, you just told me he was like the healthiest kid ever. And now you can't get past your little food pyramid of like, whatever. I would take whole grains off the list, but like whole grains could conceivably, I guess if that's the only way you're getting magnesium, cool. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like the theory of a lot of milk is fortified with vitamin D. That's how you should get your vitamin D. No, maybe you should get in the sun, big fella. Like that would be the answer, right? So if you have a magnesium deficiency, we want to get more foods with magnesium. But again, back to that CrossFit list, Joe, meat, nuts, seeds, berries, vegetables, and like every other diet that's good for you in the world. Look at the list we're forming right now. If your whole diet was oysters, lean beef, chicken, nuts, seeds, green leafy vegetables, avocados, and bananas, dude, I'm thinking if you have a client and they're eating that, they're looking pretty good and they're achieving their goals pretty fast. Like if that's the entirety of your diet, Joe, you're doing pretty good.
Well, I would say take that as your diet for 30 days.
Yep.
No cheats, no breaks, and that's all you're eating. And sufficient amounts. This isn't like a starvation thing, but you're just eating your lean meats, lots of veggies, right? Some fruit, a little bit of starch in there, but no processed anything, no garbage, no questionable foods. At the end of those 30 days, how do you look and feel? Better, worse, or the same as you look right now?
On that diet, I would see improvements on this diet.
Yeah, absolutely. But then add in your Doritos. Did that make you healthier? Was it worth that? You know, or take it to the extreme. At the end of that 30 days, give yourself a 6-pack of Dos Equis. eat the what is it from Taco John's? It's like the 6-pack and a pound, where you get the 6 tacos and the pound of potato. Just slam that down. Go have a pint of Haagen-Dazs, and then tell me what happens to your digestive system in the next 6 to 8 hours.
Wrecked.
And like, this, like you said, this isn't some hard, like, here's a nice garden salad, and here's a pile of dog food. Which one is better for you? It should be an easy answer, right?
It's not rocket science, but again, and the reason I have a hard time with these topics, and you feel the same way, is like people are looking for like, well, what's just that one food that I need to eat?
If all I did was ate sardines, I would be the bastion of health and fitness. Like,
okay, great.
I mean,
do it.
Yeah, you got to work out and like get everything else under control too.
Yeah. So we've covered off zinc, we've covered off magnesium. Another category, healthy fats, fatty fish, eggs, olive oils, and surprise, surprise, avocados. Again, there's a reason there's a superfood. There's a great list of foods, which, by the way, regardless of testosterone, I would recommend that you eat these things. There's nothing wrong with a really good piece of king or Atlantic salmon. There's nothing wrong with an egg. There's nothing wrong with olive oil. Like, it's all great stuff. The final category, Joe, is what I'll call miscellaneous other beneficial foods that may have a good effect on your health. Garlic is great for you. Onions are great for you. Cruciferous vegetables are great for you. Broccoli, cauliflower, things like that. Fruits, pomegranates, and berries. So let's go over this list now. Let's say I took all your food away, Joe. Everything you've eaten over the past month, you're not allowed it anymore. And I'm going to sub in oysters, lean beef, chicken, nuts, and seeds, leafy green vegetables, avocados, bananas, fatty fish, eggs, olive oil, and avocados, garlic, onions, broccoli, and some berries. I'm guessing by the end of 30 days, you're feeling and looking real good.
Yeah.
Real good. Right? And if you're eating all this stuff, you don't have room for the Doritos. You don't have room for the... Now, let's compare that to the average American diet. The person that has 535 alcoholic beverages a year. So now you're having 10 drinks a week. You're having a soda every day. You're having a bag of chips every day. You're having instead of that, like, no wonder your testosterone's low. So my point is, like, you can't just like do one of these things like, hey, I'm just going to eat a little more oysters and expect my testosterone to go through the roof. You've got to kind of have a full dietary overhaul. And the example I want to use, you're our young hero today, Joe. Because you work a very specific job.
Mm-hmm.
Your side hustle, we'll call it, which isn't really a side hustle. You work on the movies. You worked on a lot of big productions. You've spent months and months and months and years working 12-hour days on some of these movies and some of these productions.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these movies our viewers have seen and love. And there's a thing on these movies for you called craft services. They're a truck or a table or a tent or a restaurant with food. True or false?
Yeah, there's always something. Well, there's two things. You have catering, which would be the specific meals, and then you have craft services, which is the snack service. It's the snack table between those meals. Yeah.
So we got catering, we got craft services, snacks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to ask you questions like I don't know who you are. Have you been on movies with good food choices?
Yes. You have to fight for them, but yeah, I've had
You're a little hesitant there, so it's not great. Okay,
not great. Yeah, it's a battle.
Have you been on movies with trash?
Absolutely.
Okay, so hear me out. Can you give me an example? And I don't want you to throw any director or any movie under the bus.
Man.
Can you give me an example of what the food was like? I'm going to say the worst, because you're a guy that's conscious about health. Like, I call movies your side hustle. It's actually like, you got like a full-time career in this industry.
Well, like I've had projects I've worked on where I will bring my own food to set. Like, I will run, after a 12 or 16 hour day, stopping through at whatever grocery store happens to be open at whatever time your shift is over, and getting those packs of like hard-boiled eggs.
Got it. Okay, but you're not playing along now. Let's say you had to eat. Let's say you had to eat at the craft services and the catering.
Okay, what you're going to find at craft services, there are some things I think are necessary at a craft services table, or the union will start rioting. Like fruit snacks are always at the craft services table. They're always going to have granola bars because it's just like too easy.
Processed
the last movie that I worked on, they literally had a plate of mini donuts that they would set out in the morning.
Okay.
Beverages, it's all either energy drinks or, like Diet Coke, full sugar Coke. Like,
I gotta take some lumps
a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
Water is always a big thing. I mean, we do try to focus on keeping a crew hydrated, and you go through a lot of water on a movie set. I don't think people even realize. But it's all packaged, all processed, all stuff that you can set out and kind of forget about. It's rare that you're going to get something that, like even a piece of fruit is kind of a rarity to have on a film set.
What's I'm not going to say the worst lunch you've ever had, like health-wise, but like what's the standard, like buttered noodles, mac and cheese? Like it
depends. Like every caterer does it different. I've had some really, really good catering. And I've had some where it's like, it's questionable, and it's not always the quality of the food. I'm trying to think of the time we had, it was like a chicken tortilla soup was the main meal. And then they served it with banana pudding. And I don't know why, because those two things don't go together in any way, shape, or form. There was never a time in my life when I was like, man, I sure hope to have banana pudding for lunch. Sometimes it's, like you make your own sandwiches, salads. Sometimes they'll do that. But again, there's so much variety. It's like, who could you hire to cater a work event? And those are the same people you're hiring to cater this kind of a thing, where they're going to come in twice a day, serve a breakfast, serve a lunch.
Okay.
You're usually on your own for dinner.
And my guess
there's a ton of variety, but by the time you actually get to sit down and eat, most people's will is that it's completely broken, and they're just shoveling food in like pigs at a feeding trough. So I'm going to spit back something to you. I want you to tell me if this is more true or less true, what I'm about to say. Okay. So you're on set for what, 6 months, 8 months, we'll say? Sure. Just depending on a project. Could be a month, could be 2, could be 10.
Okay. Well, we're going to go with 6 just for the purposes of this podcast. And what I'm hearing is a lot of your diet's going to be fruit snacks, granola bars, chips, energy drinks, maybe some pasta or like a soup for lunch, probably some other candy, probably some other fast package type stuff.
Sugar candy, that quick energy, right? Like, got to stay focused.
If you're getting a salad, it's probably a bagged salad. You're probably not having a kale, broccoli, like organic walnut, whatever, right? Like, it's probably like just a standard salad. So if you eat like that for 6 months, movie or not, I'm going to argue at the end of that 6 months, you're going to feel pretty bad about yourself. Like, that doesn't sound. I will tell you this: you do not see a lot of healthy, fit people working the crew on a major film. You also said to me that it's really hard unless you bring your own food to get enough protein type choices, right? Like they're not serving you ribeye steak, right? So you're okay, you're out. So that's your typical diet. So then my question is like, when you're saying like these people are unfit, is it the 12-hour days or is it the fact they're eating like toddlers? Because this doesn't sound good to me. Like, that sounds like a nightmare. On the other hand, Joe, I'm going to hire you to make the Bobby Maximus biography, the biopic. And I'm going to be in charge of craft services because I want this authentic to who I am.
Yeah.
So 6 months of you eating like that, you're not allowed to bring your food. What does your health and fitness look like at the end of that 6 months? I'm saying it's pretty bad with
it's not good. You're right? In a hole. You've gained weight. You got to work your way out of it.
What if you walk onto a movie set and there's this beautiful tent and they've got stations? You know what I mean? Like, we're talking like food and wine festival stations. And they've got an oyster bar. They've got lean beef. They've got real chicken, like they got to carve up, like the expensive Vegas buffets. There's like bowls, not packages, bowls of like raw walnuts and cashews and macadamia nuts. There's like sunflower seeds. Then they've got like a vegetable bar where they've got like organic leafy greens. They've got avocados. They've got bananas. They've got berries and pomegranates. They have a beautiful olive oil bar with olive oil imported from Tanzania and Spain and Northern California, right? I don't even know if in Tanzania they make olive oil, but whatever. I'm a weird guy, okay? And then they got like eggs, and you can go get an omelet. You can get hard-boiled eggs. Like if that was the place, how happy would Joe Cebula be on that set for 6 months?
My God, I'd love that. I would show up with a song in my heart every morning.
Right? Like would you ever, if that was the case, would you ever bring your own food? And the answer is probably not.
No, I wouldn't.
By the way, a lot of you guys would bring your bag of Doritos because you couldn't handle eating like that. But dude, that could be like a gourmet Michelin star type restaurant. Throw some sushi in there. Like imagine you had like Chef Nobu and he was like making sushi in the corner. Like,
you remember we were doing one of the Maximus seminars and we had Viet come out.
Yep.
And we went to the hardware store and we bought bricks and a grill and we built a grill in the parking lot. And we made all those steaks right there in the parking lot on a homemade grill. It was amazing.
You know it, but that's Joe. Like that's so here's what I'm getting at is like, I really want to tell you that if you just don't change anything, but you eat oysters, your testosterone is going to go up.
Yeah.
But like, you can't add one of these things without eliminating that other bad stuff. Like you can't live off.
It's like saying that you've got a hamburger that has rat poison on it. So if you just put enough mustard, it'll be healthier.
Yeah, like it doesn't work like that.
You gotta take the rat poison off the burger. You shouldn't be eating that. Like there's other bigger, more important things that need to be done. And like I said, you go 30 days eating what you know you're supposed to be eating. You know that all your blood levels are going to improve. You're not going to eat nothing but salads and lean proteins for a month and then have your doctor be like, boy, your cholesterol's through the roof. Your testosterone is tanked. Like you're going to see improvements. How much? That's an individual thing, right? And that depends on a lot of other factors. Are you training? Are you not training? But something you said earlier stuck in my head, and that was the average American, right? What does the average American eat? And I'm not super interested because guess what? I'm not trying to be average, right? Like we're working out, we're trying to be healthy. We're trying to beat those numbers that are on those charts that tell you what happens to the average American. The average American man has 3 heart attacks in his lifetime. I don't want any, like let's be better than average. And if the average American is having 600 gallons of soda a year, how about I don't have any of that? I'm not average anymore.
But I also think, Joe, the average, you're right, 100%. But I think the average is indicative of how a lot of people live. And whether you want to use average, you want to use central tendency, you want to use mean, like whatever statistic you want to use, I'm shocked. There's a lot of people. I don't abstain from adult beverages. I like a good glass of whiskey every now and then. I like a good, okay, you do too. But I'm shocked. I talked to one of my clients not long ago and I said, like, it shocks me that the average American has 500 plus drinks a year. And he's like, oh, I do that easy. And I'm like, come again? You back up. You have 10 drinks a week. What? He's like, oh yeah, all the time. Like, oh, okay. I'm like, can I quiz you? He's like, sure. I go, the average American eats fast food 2.7 times a week. Are you there? He's like, yeah, it's like 5 or 6. Oh, okay. What about like chips? What about ice cream? What about soda? And it's like, it turns out he doesn't drink soda. He doesn't have chips. But again, with all these drinks and all these, and this is a guy that goes hiking all the time. This is a guy that does jiu-jitsu. This is a guy that lifts weights. And this is how he's eating. And my problem is, he didn't say this, but that's the guy who says, man, my testosterone is a little low. I must have a problem. Yeah. It's like, well, no, the problem is like, you have 10 drinks a week and you don't think that's a problem. The problem is, you remember, I think I called you. It's when our morning calls started. When I was just beside myself because I saw an adult drinking a 64-ounce.
Well, you don't even have to finish the story.
And I watched this person open a pack of Twizzlers, bite the ends off to make a straw, and put it in the Mountain Dew. And I was like, this is...
Sir, if this was you and you're listening, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you. Thank you for tuning in.
My brain is like, that man's like 48 years old. Did he just make a Twizzler straw? Like,
Yeah.
I have memories of this when I was 3 or 4, like vague childhood memories. Like I showed my 5-year-old how to make a Twizzler straw, and he thought it was the coolest thing in the world. But like, is this really a 48-year-old man at 7 a.m. at the essentially the 7-Eleven having a 64-ounce Mountain Dew with the Twizzler straw and a side of Reese peanut butter cups? Is this? And then I look down the line, and he is not much different than everyone else in line. Like, some of them have the pizza from the 7-Eleven. Some of them have those like breakfast burritos in the package. Some
of
those
things on the roller. I don't even know what those are.
Yes.
You just sit there and roll.
Yep.
I don't even know what it is. It can't possibly be good for you, though. Gas
station hot dogs. And I'm like, there are a lot of people on the way to work that this is their breakfast every morning. Or the best is when they have there's a place called Maverick in Utah. It's like a 7-Eleven where they have Cinnabon shops in there, where it's like your breakfast is 6 Cinnabuns and like one of those like fruit shakes that's not fruit at all. That's like sugar from the thing. And it's like, you do this every day, huh? Okay. But you're again, to the point, and to end the podcast, Joe, but your testosterone is low because you're not eating enough oysters or bull testicles. Got it. Okay. So this is the thing. You can have your oysters, your lean beef, your chicken, like all this stuff will be good and will theoretically increase your testosterone. But like, guys, stop looking for like this one thing that you're going to do to fix the problem. Just do a dietary, do me a favor. Before you decide you have a problem, do a dietary overhaul. Do it for 30 to 60 days. Get some good sleep and exercise in the meantime, and then get yourself tested and see where your health markers are. Because I'm not arguing.
You know why people can't keep a dietary journal? Because then they have to admit that they're eating like crap.
See, I love that point, because I've got it, because you can't live. People are great. Humans are great at just ignoring the obvious, like red flashing sign. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're the dude that looks at red flags like it's a Six Flags amusement park. Like, dude, we can't. You know what I mean, though? Because you're right. You have to admit that your diet is trash. And a lot of people would rather live in the ignorance. Like, my diet's not that bad. And when you write it out for them, and they're like, bro, you drank Mountain Dew for breakfast. You had a Twizzler straw. You had 10 adult beverages last week. You ate fast food every day. What do you mean your diet's not bad? And there's a total disconnect on where that is. Yeah. You know? It's the same thing, Joe. I'll bet you there's people on that movie who are eating fruit snacks that think that's the same as eating fruit.
Yep.
Not even fruit snacks. They're having a fruit roll-up. They're like, well, there's my serving of vegetables for the day. All right. So to recap, Joe, oysters, lean beef, chicken, nuts, seeds, leafy green vegetables, avocados, bananas, fatty fish, eggs, olive oil. There's your diet for the next 30 days. Try it out. Get yourself tested. See where you're at. Actually, test yourself first. Eat like that for 30 to 60 or 30 to 90, whatever it is. Then get tested again and come back. And if you have a problem, then we can dive into the specifics. How's that for you?
There you go. I love it.
All right. Maximus Podcast. Joe Cebula. Bobby Maximus, always keeping it real. Comment, subscribe. Tell us some foods that you eat to stay healthy in the comments. Just boost up the old algorithm for the YouTube. They like it. And we'll see you in the next one.